Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Institution again. So Cloud Institution is the best software training institution. So now as part of this Terraform series, we are going to watch, we have watched a lot of videos before that. So today we are going to see another very interesting and very important error that you used to get, during the Terraform deployment. Okay, so the Terraform error is what are we going to get usually is that, so the acquiring state lock. Okay, so acquiring state lock is what the error, what you will get error occurring state log. So you may see this kind of errors, when you're running the Terraform backend state. All right. So now what we're going to see is that so what is Terraform state log? Okay. So as you can see here, the state log is going to be kind of a very important thing. Because Terraform state log is a mechanism that ensures that only one Terraform process can modify the state file at the time. Okay, so this prevents the conflicts of occurrence. So when the multiple users or processes are working on the same infrastructure concurrently. So what happens is that, so I will try to show you this in the NI board. Okay, so what are we going to do is that, okay, if this is a state file, this, let's say this is a storage account. Okay, so this we have saved our the state file in one container. Okay, this is container and this is state file. Okay, so this is the container name. It's like container and this is the state file. All right, so now what happens is that now for example I'm working on this same project. Okay, so maybe if I'm just running with this different pipeline. Okay, so uh, okay, so now I'm just being like this one here, and I'm going to add somebody else. You'll be you'll be here. Now whenever I'm just trying to access this, when I'm trying to access this particular state file, that state file is going to be the modifying it, right? So during the modification, that what happens to the Azure RM is that it's going to lock, so it's going to add the lock with this add the lock to this state file. Okay, so is created the sorry is going to be creating a lock. Okay, probably I'll use this. So it's going to create a state lock, maybe the resource lock, so that nobody else will be able to update it. Okay, so if this guy is trying to so update the same state file using start from configuration, what it's going to say is that, hey, the state file is already locked. Okay, so sometimes what happens is that whenever so once this guy is this execution is successful, then it will release the lock. Okay, so that's called acquiring state locks. Okay, now what happens is that somebody, if this guy is trying to make a modification, but he terminated that process, he terminated the Terraform execution in between. Okay, so he just terminated. Okay, he just, let's say for example, terminated this process in between. So what happens is that when this guy is trying to so the access this one, the state file already been logged. Okay, so it's not properly unlocked. Okay, so these are the errors which you can get Terraform structure. Okay, so then what we have to do, I'm going to explain it to you. Okay, now let's go back to our Terraform console and see. Okay, so I have a Terraform provider as a backend. Okay, backend is going to be the storage account name is going to be Cloud Institution Backend 1 is what my storage account name. So now I'm going back to the home and storage accounts. I have only one storage account. Okay, so I have a container. What is the container name? The container name is going to be tf state. So tf state is what my container name is. Good container, and I have one tf state is the container. Okay, I'm going inside and I have a c terraform.tf state is there. Okay, now as you can see here, the state file is there. I'm going to I'm going to Terraform plan now. Okay, I'm going to do Terraform or Terraform apply. Okay, so because I already previously what I did, I already, so when I'm just trying to create Terraform apply. Okay, so what I did is I just terminated it wantedly. Okay, so error asking for approval and interrupted. So what I did was whenever it's asking for the yes or no to proceed, I just terminated this process. Okay, wantedly I just terminated. So what happens when I was running the next time, it's just getting the error saying that error acquiring state lock. Okay, so now if you do Terraform apply now, so it's going to show me the error saying that error acquiring the state lock. So I'm going to show you that how are you going to see error acquiring state lock. So this error this blob is already locked. So blob metadata Terraform, lock ID was empty. So now what happens is that, so how are we going to fix it? So now in this case, nobody will be able to, so nobody will be able to make a modification. So even this guy will be, blocked, saying that, hey, I'm not able to update my changes on the state file. Okay, so what are we going to fix it? So the fix for this particular scenario is that, so go inside this Terraform state file. Okay, so there's an option called break lease. Okay, this is kind of acquire lease, and this is kind of a break lease. So what are we going to do is that, so we're going to do a break lease and click on yes. Okay, now it's going to be so acquire lease option is enabled, so it's going to be removed. Okay, now what are we going to do is that, I'm going to do Terraform apply again. Okay, now you see, so this error is not showing. So now Terraform apply is going to be working perfectly for me. Okay, so now this is the way which you should be able to resolve this particular error. So now I'm going to give no, and so now if you see is the releasing state log. So now as you can see here, acquiring state log. Acquiring state log is nothing but whenever the Terraform is trying to apply for the storage account with the remote state file, it will, storage account will be locked. Okay, so and then it's going to be releasing after this particular point of time. Okay, we need to wait until this particular state file is been released. Otherwise, we have to go to the console and then break release. Now, as you can see here, so the break release is not been enabled, which means that Terraform is not locked this state file. Okay, so this is how you'll be fixing this particular error. All right, so this is how so you will be getting this error so much of times. In my experience, I have just got this error multiple times. That's the reason why I decided to make a video on this one. Okay, so hope you like this video, guys. So if you like this video, if you already face this kind of issues, and if you resolve this issue, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We're going to see more and more videos like this in the future. Okay, so thank you guys, and stay tuned.